Hey, it's me. I know you said to delete your number. I know I promised I wouldn't call this late. But the rain hasn't stopped. And the silence in this room is literally driving me insane. You took all the oxygen when you left. You win, okay? You broke it perfectly. Now just tell me how to stop feeling it. Please call me back.
I promised I wouldn't call.
I erased your number 3 times tonight. But the piano sounds so incredibly lonely.
The keys are pressing down, but nobody is playing. I'm listening to everything you aren't even saying. The silence in the room is suffocating me. I'm opening the lock without a physical key. The reflection in the mirror isn't looking the same. I'm totally addicted to the terrible game. You're pulling on the string that is tied to my chest. I'm taking away absolutely all of the rest.
Tracing down the arm.
Tracing down the arm.
Such a beautiful arm.
Vein.
Yes.
Vein. I'm pushing the feeling directly in the vein.
Ain't giving a single umbrella for the rain.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm taking the control.
I'm putting the absolute shadow on the soul.
I'm holding you carefully under the deep. I'm taking you beautifully into the sleep.
Pushing the feeling
directly in the vein.
The chemical is rushing and burning the lung. The metallic, beautiful taste on the tongue. I'm shivering totally out of the cold. I'm breaking exactly the thing that I hold. You staring at me like I'm already gone. We cutting the curtain and killing the dawn. The dependency totally locking me in. I'm letting you perfectly under the skin. Tracing down the arm.
Tracing down the arm.
Such a beautiful arm.
Vein. I'm pushing the feeling directly in the vein.
Ain't giving a single umbrella for the rain.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm taking the control.
I'm putting the absolute shadow on the soul.
I'm holding you carefully under the deep. I'm taking you beautifully into the sleep.
Pushing the feeling
directly in the vein.
I can feel it
right under the surface. It's so dark,
and I love it.
Straight to the heart.
Don't stop playing. Listen to the strings. They sound like ice dropping into an empty glass.
So sharp. The metal is freezing, the finger is numb. I'm waiting exactly for whatever will come. A melody picking a hole inside the mind. I'm leaving the absolute sanity behind. The vibration echoing out into the black. There isn't a beautiful way of turning back. The collar is heavy, the fabric is tight. I'm perfect and choking directly tonight.
Pull the knot.
Pull the knot.
Give me all that you got. Choke. Choke. I'm totally wrapping you into the choke. Ain't giving you anything out of the smoke.
I'm speaking speaking with gravel, I'm pulling the wire. I'm pushing you directly into the fire.
I'm tightening up and I'm making it right.
I'm taking the absolute oxygen tonight.
Totally wrapping you into the choke. The panic is sitting right back of the throat.
I'm utterly burning the ultimate boat.
You holding the leash and you pulling it back.
We completely fading perfectly into the black.
The pressure is wonderful, damage is pure.
I'm absolutely ignoring the cure.
You totally cutting exactly the cord.
I'm beautifully taking the heavy reward.
Hold the knife.
To the night.
Give me all that you got. Totally wrapping you into the choke. Ain't giving you anything out of the smoke.
We're speaking the gravel, I'm pulling the wire. I'm pushing you directly into the fire.
I'm tightening up and I'm making it right. I'm taking the absolute oxygen tonight. Totally wrapping you into the choke. Tighter. Don't let me talk. Just listen to the strings.
Hold it in.
I'm freezing. Can you hear the strings? They sound like freezing rain. The metal is cold and the fingers numb. I'm waiting exactly for whatever will come. The melody picking a hole in my mind. I'm leaving the absolute safety behind. You looking at me with a dangerous eye. I'm totally buying the beautiful lie. The temperature dropping below of the glass. We're making a terrible century pass. Running down the spine. Crossing off the line.
Shiver. I'm dropping the absolute freezing shiver. Ain't giving a single apology, river. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm cutting the string. I'm perfectly taking everything, I'm watching you.
Totally trembling breath.
I'm keeping exactly whatever I take.
Trapping the absolute freezing sea. The air in the room is electric and dead. I'm perfectly trapping the ghost in your head. The vibration echoing out in the dark. I'm totally leaving a permanent mark. You holding my shoulder and dropping the heat. We completely dead in the middle of the street. I'm letting you absolutely pull the wire. We drowning directly inside of the fire. Running down the spine. Crossing off the line.
Shiver. I'm dropping the absolute freezing shiver. Ain't giving a single apology to river. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm cutting the string. I'm perfectly taking everything, I'm watching.
Totally trembling breath.
I'm keeping exactly whatever I take.
Dropping the absolute freezing shiver.
So cold.
I'm freezing. It hurts more. When you pull it slowly.
hairs resting gently right across the wood. I never really thought that anybody could. You're dragging the metal exactly on the flesh. I'm totally keeping the horrible injury fresh. The frequency hitting directly in the bone. We sitting completely and utterly alone. I'm perfectly captive directly in the sound. I'm letting you absolutely put me in the ground.
Cutting the tie. Look in the eye.
Sever.
I'm dropping the knife and making the sever. Ain't giving a single apology, never. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm breaking the link. Watching you utterly perfectly sink. I'm taking a beautiful piece of the heart. I'm utterly tearing the logic apart.
Dropping the knife and making the sever.
Your silence is bleeding exactly from the cut. The beautiful doorway is permanently shut. You holding the handle and driving the beat. I'm perfectly losing the capacity to sleep. The damage is done and the shadow is long. We absolutely listening directly to the song. I'm begging you never to totally let go. We putting a horrible ending to the show.
Cutting the tie. Look in the eye.
Sever.
I'm dropping the knife and making the sever. Ain't giving a single apology, never. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm breaking the link. I'm watching you utterly perfectly sink. I'm taking a beautiful piece of the heart. I'm utterly tearing the logic apart.
Dropping the knife and making the sever. Don't stop. Make it permanent. Rest in pieces. Sever. Severed. It doesn't hurt right away. You have to wait for it.
The color is spreading directly on the white. I'm totally giving up the middle of the fight. You watching me patiently leaning on the wall. I'm perfectly ready to totally let it fall.
The temperature leaving the center of the chest. I'm giving you absolute every single best. The rhythm is slowing exactly to a crawl. We leaving the absolute terrible nothing at all. Let it run, run, run.
Look what you've done. Bleed. I'm making you wonderfully, terribly bleed. Ain't giving you anything else that you need. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm planting the seed. I'm watching you purely and perfectly feed.
I'm taking the emotion right out of the dark.
I'm absolutely leaving the heavy red mark. Making you wonderfully, terribly bleed.
The surface is totally broken and open. I'm taking exactly the words you had spoken. You holding my hand as the damage is done. We utterly knowing that nobody won.
The shadow is totally filling the space. You reading the panic directly on face. I'm letting you absolutely pull the string. We watching the ending of everything.
Let it run, run, run.
what you've done.
I'm making you wonderfully, terribly bleed, and giving you anything much that you need. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm planting the seed. I'm watching it grow to end perfectly feed. I'm taking the emotion right out of the dot.
I'm absolutely leaving the heavy red mark.
Making you wonderfully, terribly bleed. Red on white. Don't stop it. Take it all. Leave me empty.
The imagery perfectly fading from the bone. We sitting directly inside of the zone. You pulling the memory right off of the shelf. I'm totally giving completely to self. The battery dying exactly on the floor. I'm absolutely physically unable of more. You drinking me totally down to the glass. I'm totally letting the century pass.
Sucking it dry. Watching it die.
Drain. I'm putting you directly inside of the drain. Ain't giving a single percentage of rate. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm pulling the plug. I'm burying a terrible hole that we dug. I'm watching you utterly fade in the dark. I'm totally erasing the opposite mark. Putting you directly inside of the drain.
The completely empty is making me float. I'm utterly burning the alternate boat. You looking right through me, you reading the map. I'm absolutely stepping right into the trap.
We melting together right into the floor. I'm never expecting a casualty more. So take the remaining percentage of me. We're turning exactly to what we should be.
Sucking it dry. Watching it die. I'm putting you directly inside of the drain. Ain't giving a single percentage of rain. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm pulling the plug. I'm burying the terrible hole that we dug. I'm watching you utterly fade in the dark. I'm totally erasing the opposite mark.
Putting you directly inside of the drain. Nothing left.
Empty. Take it all. It's deep inside the muscle. You can't wash it off.
The feeling is perfectly staying underneath. You holding my life exactly in the teeth. I'm totally trying to sleep in the bed. I'm completely hearing the thing that you say. The physical, terrible, beautiful pain. I'm utterly drowning directly in rain. You pressing so heavily directly on the mind. I'm beautifully leaving the logic behind.
Hurting so good.
Misunderstood. I'm bringing the absolute permanent ache. Ain't giving a single available break.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm breaking the bone. I'm making sure you perfectly, deeply alone.
I'm totally getting right into the cell. I'm dropping you absolutely into the hell.
Bringing the absolute permanent ache.
The medicine totally failing to work. It's symptom is hiding right where the shadow lurk. You entirely taking the system offline. We crossing completely the beautiful line. The trembling happening under the skin. I entirely knowing exactly the sin. I'm wanting to suffer exactly for you. We totally knowing exactly the clue.
Hurting so good.
Misunderstood. I'm bringing the absolute permanent ache.
Ay.
Ain't giving a single available break.
I'm speaking with gravel and breaking the bone. I'm making sure you're perfectly, deeply alone.
I'm totally getting right into the cell. I'm drugging you absolutely into the hell.
Bringing the absolute, having it all.
Deep in the bones.
It never stops. It's deep inside the muscle.
You can't wash it off. Oh,
I know it's wrong.
but I'll let you take me down. Higher than the flame.
We striking a match and you watching it glow. I'm standing exactly where nobody go. The beautiful fever is taking the skin. I'm knowing exactly the trouble I'm in. The smoke is so heavy, it covers the eye. We completely burning the absolute lie. I'm letting you totally set me alight. I'm turning to ash in the middle of the night. Taking the fire, building it higher.
Burn.
I'm making you perfectly beautifully burn. Ain't giving a single available turn.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm dropping the heat. I'm leaving the shadow directly on street. I'm watching the oxygen leaving the room. I'm totally building the absolute tone.
Making you perfectly
Beautifully burned.
the cinder is falling exactly like snow. I'm absolutely having to know where to go. You holding my hand in the center of hell. I'm totally under the terrible spell. The temperature breaking exactly the glass. We totally making the misery pass. So give me the terrible gasoline kiss. I'm perfectly falling directly in this. Taking the fire, building it higher. I'm making me perfectly beautifully burn. Ain't giving a single available turn.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm dropping the heat. I'm leaving the shadow directing you straight. I'm watching the oxygen leaving the room. I'm totally building the absolute tone.
Making you perfectly
Beautifully burned.
turn to ash. I'm burning. Dragging me down, so heavy in the water tonight. Pull me under. The weight is completely directly in bone. I'm falling exactly and utterly alone. The surface is totally fading away. I don't even have a remaining to say. You tied to the ankle and holding me tight. We completely lost in the middle of sight. The pressure is perfectly crushing the lung. The beautiful melody finally sung down to the deep.
Secrets we keep. Sank. I'm making you utterly, terribly sinking, and giving the second completely to think. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm pulling the thread. I'm totally putting the water in the head. I'm watching you absolutely fade in the dark. I'm perfectly leaving a terrible mark.
Making you utterly, terribly sick. Your silence is heavy directly below. I'm totally letting the clarity go. You're looking right at me with beautiful eye. We totally living exactly the lie. The current is taking me out to the sea. You leaving the absolute nothing to me. So hold me securely, directly in blue. I'm perfectly giving exactly to you. Down to the deep.
Secrets we keep. Same. I'm making you utterly, terribly sick, and giving the second completely to think. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm pulling the thread. I'm totally putting the water in the head. I'm watching you absolutely fade in the dark. I'm perfectly leaving the terrible mark.
Making you utterly, terribly sick.
No coming up.
Let me drown. Look at the pieces falling down like diamonds on the floor.
The mirror is completely exactly in half. I'm absolutely giving a terrible laugh. You're throwing the heavy directly at me. We completely blind, but we perfectly see. The fragment is cutting exactly the skin. I'm perfectly opening up to the sin. I'm totally broken exactly in place. You totally taking the light from the face.
Falling apart.
Falling apart.
Breaking the heart.
Shatter.
I'm making a terrible, beautiful shatter. Ain't giving a single reality now.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm breaking the glass. I'm watching the absolute innocence pass.
I'm completely tearing exactly the mind. I'm leaving the absolute safety behind.
Making the terrible, beautiful shatter.
The silence is cutting exactly like ice. I'm totally rolling a dangerous vice. You picking the completely ruined piece up. I'm completely drinking directly from cup. The poison is beautifully taking effect. You totally putting exactly the rake. So give me the absolutely terrible blow. We beautifully putting the end to the show.
Falling apart. Breaking the heart.
I'm making a terrible, beautiful shatter. Ain't giving a single reality now.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm breaking the glass. I'm watching the absolute innocence die.
I'm completely tearing exactly the mind. I'm leaving the absolute safety behind.
Making the terrible, beautiful shatter. Breaking down.
It looks so beautiful, but the skin is bleeding now.
Completely reaching exact to the stem. I don't really care about absolute rhythm. You're growing exactly directly in dark. I'm perfectly taking the beautiful mark. The pedal is falling directly aside. I don't have a single emotion to hide. I'm totally wrapping the hand on the pain. I'm thoroughly watching it totally in rain.
Holding too tight, getting a fight.
I'm completely wrapping the absolute thought. I'm ripping the beautiful fabric he taught. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm drawing the red. I'm planting exactly the root in the head. I'm totally making exactly the scrape. I ain't gonna let you entirely escape.
Wrapping exactly the absolute thorn.
The venom is naturally perfectly pure. I totally throwing away any cure. I'm looking exactly direct at the wound. Beautifully, totally, perfectly tuned. You holding my hand and you squeezing it hard. I'm dropping the final and absolute card. So give me exactly the horrible sting. I'm absolutely exchanging the everything. Holding too tight, giving the fight.
I'm completely wrapping the absolute thought. I'm ripping the beautiful fabric he taught. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm drawing the red. I'm planting exactly the root in the head. I'm totally making exactly the scrape. I ain't gonna let you entirely escape.
Wrapping exactly the absolute thorn.
Why is it so quiet? I can't hear you anymore. The volume is dropping exactly to zero. We're perfectly killing exactly the hero. I'm absolutely licking exactly at lip. I'm totally letting the everything slip. You're screaming exactly directly at me, but there is entirely nothing to see. The silence is totally breaking the glass. We sitting and letting the century pass, taking the sound into the ground.
Available route. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm cutting the wire. I'm totally drowning exactly the fire. I'm isolating the absolute room. I'm totally building the wonderful tomb. Pushing the button exactly for you.
The frequency absolutely fading away. There isn't a beautiful sentence to say. I'm totally watching your mouth, all the word. I'm absolutely ensuring that nothing is heard. The distance between us infinitely wide. We perfectly having exactly to hide. So turn out the absolute final remain. I'm perfectly deaf to the terrible pain. Taking the sound into the ground.
Pushing the button for mute. Ain't giving a single available route. I'm sticking the ground, I'm cutting the wire. I'm totally drowning exactly in the fire. I'm isolating the absolute room. I'm totally building the wonderful tomb. Pushing the button exactly for you.
Can't hear a thing. taking it slowly.
Tying the knot in the dark.
I'm perfectly stepping directly in line. I'm drinking the sorrow exactly like wine. You looking exactly like everything bad. I'm totally giving the best that I had. The string is vibrating directly on skin. We beautifully knowing the trouble we in. I'm completely wrapping the hand on the pain. We thoroughly washing it totally in rain. Holding too tight, giving the right.
Glimpse, I'm giving a beautiful, terrible glimpse. Ain't throwing a single available hints. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm drawing the red. I'm planning exactly the route in the head. I'm totally making exactly the scrape. I ain't gonna let you entirely escape.
Giving a beautiful, terrible glimpse.
The passion is obviously perfectly pure. I totally throwing away any cure. I'm looking exactly direct at the wound. We beautifully, totally, perfectly tuned. You holding my hand and you squeezing it hard. I'm dropping the final and absolute card. So give me exactly the horrible sting. I'm absolutely exchanging the everything.
Holding too tight, giving the right.
I'm giving a beautiful, terrible glimpse. Ain't throwing a single available hints. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm doing the red. I'm planning exactly the route in the head. I'm totally making exactly the scrape. I ain't gonna let you entirely escape.
Giving a beautiful, terrible glimpse. Just a love. Don't let go. Yeah.
Smooth on the skin.
But it ruins the soul.
The fabric is softly direct on the floor. I'm totally wanting absolutely more.
You're breathing so heavy directly on neck. We putting the absolute beautiful wreck. The brass of the instrument cut in the air. I completely knowing that nobody there. We sitting directly inside of the gold. I'm totally letting the story unfold. Slipping away,
Slipping away, nothing to say.
Satin,
I'm wrapping you up in the absolute satin. Ain't giving a single translation in Latin. Or speaking with gravel, I'm taking the touch. I'm perfectly, totally giving too much. I'm making exactly the luxury pain. We standing completely inside of the rain. I'm wrapping you up in the absolute satin.
the smoke is heavily hitting ceiling. I'm totally losing exactly the feeling. You pulling me completely into the hold. I'm totally buying whatever you sold. The note of the music exactly so deep. We absolutely never intending to sleep. So take the remaining exactly of me. I'm currently totally blind, but I see
Slipping away, nothing to say.
Satin,
I'm wrapping you up in the absolute satin. Ain't giving a single translation in Latin. I'm speaking the gravel, I'm taking the touch. I'm perfectly, totally giving too much. I'm making exactly the luxury pain. We standing completely inside of the rain.
wrapping you up in that absolute satin.
So smooth.
I'm slipping. Why is it so quiet? I can't hear you anymore. If volume is dropping exactly to zero, we perfectly killing exactly the hero. I'm absolutely looking exactly at lip. I'm totally letting the everything slip. He's screaming exactly directly at me, but there is entirely nothing to see. The silence is totally breaking the glass. We're sitting and letting the sensual pass, taking the sound into the ground.
Hollow, I'm perfectly making the absolute hollow. Ain't having a single direction to follow. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm totally numb. I'm waiting exactly for whatever comes.
I'm perfectly carving exactly the space. I'm dropping the beautiful tear on the face, making the absolute beautiful hollow.
The frequency absolutely fading away. There isn't a beautiful sentence to say. I'm totally watching your mouth, all the word. I'm absolutely ensuring that nothing is heard. Be distance between us infinitely wide. We perfectly having exactly the height. So turn out the absolute final remain. I'm perfectly deaf to but terrible pain. Taking the sound into the ground.
Hollow, I'm perfectly making the absolute hollow. Ain't having a single direction to follow. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm totally numb. I'm waiting exactly for whatever comes.
I'm perfectly carving exactly the space. I'm dropping the beautiful tear on the face, making the absolute beautiful
The sun is completely gone, and the shadow is taking the room. The color is totally bleeding from sky. We perfectly living a beautiful lie. I'm sitting and watching the absolute fade. I'm totally loving the mess that we made. You completely looking exactly right through. I don't have a single belonging but you. The temperature utterly dropping to ice. I'm perfectly paying the terrible price. Taking the light.
Welcome the night.
I'm perfectly entering into the dusk. Ain't leaving a beautiful thing but the husk. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm slowing it down. I'm thoroughly pushing you, perfectly drown. I'm totally locking exactly the door. I'm leaving the body correctly on floor, entering into the absolute dusk.
I'm minute is turning exactly to a year. I'm perfectly drowning, absolutely the fear. You touching my face in the absolute dark. I'm currently wearing the permanent mark. The horizon is completely, perfectly flat. We totally sitting exactly right at. So give me the final, exactly the end. I completely break in exactly the bend.
Taking the light.
Welcome the night.
Dusk, I'm perfectly entering into the dusk. You're leaving a beautiful thing with the husk. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm slowing it down. I'm thoroughly pushing you perfectly down. I'm totally locking exactly the door. I'm leaving the body directly on floor. Entering into the absolute dust. Fading to black. And never coming back. Bury it all. Leave it under the dirt. A shovel is perfectly hitting the stone. We sitting directly, exactly alone. I'm totally going beautiful dirt. I'm completely loving the absolute hurt. You're burying every exact mistake. We thoroughly sleeping and never awake. The flower is perfectly dying on top. I'm absolutely begging to never to stop. Deep in the ground. Deep in the ground. Without a sound.
Grave. I'm dropping you perfectly into the grave. Ain't giving a single percentage to save. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm digging deep. I'm absolutely putting the memory sleep.
I'm entirely throwing exactly the mud. I'm totally mixing the beautiful blood.
Dropping you perfectly into the grave.
The rain is completely dissolving the past. We beautifully knowing exactly at last. You put in a totally heavy cement. We perfectly, totally paying the rent. The distance between us exactly so small. I'm perfectly hearing exactly the call. So cover me carefully, beautifully tight. I'm taking exactly the rest of the night. Deep in the ground. Without a sound.
Grave. I'm dropping you perfectly into the grave. Ain't giving a single percentage to save. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm digging it deep. I'm absolutely putting the memory sleep.
I'm entirely going exactly the mud. I'm totally mixing the beautiful blood.
Dropping you perfectly into the grave.
6 feet down. Don't dig it up. 6 feet down.
Don't get up.
Yeah. Making a promise in the dark. Never meant to keep it.
I'm perfectly crossing the heart and the chest. I'm utterly, completely failing the test. The words are directly, exactly a lie. We entirely waiting exactly to die.
You're looking right into the absolute soul.
I'm playing exactly the dangerous road.
The whisper is totally caught in the throat.
I'm burning a perfectly beautiful boat.
Take my hand. Sinking in the sand.
Drinking in sand. I'm perfectly breaking the beautiful oath. Ain't having the same percentage of growth. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm cutting the string. I'm absolutely burning me exactly everything. I'm totally leaving the promise
in dirt.
I'm making a completely incredible hurt.
Breaking the absolutely beautiful oath. The ink is directly, exactly in red.
I'm completely, totally out of the head.
We signing the absolutely terrible pact.
We totally finishing exactly the act.
The finger is bleeding directly online. I don't have a perfectly beautiful sign.
So take the exactly remaining defense.
We utterly jumping exactly the fence. Take my hand, sinking in sand.
Taking instead. No, perfectly breaking the beautiful oath.
Ain't having a single percentage of growth.
I'm speaking with gravel, I'm cutting the string. I'm absolutely burning the exactly every band. I'm totally leaving the
Promising bird.
I'm making a completely incredible hurt.
Breaking the absolutely beautiful. Promise is broken.
Forever and ever.
Oh, scratching at the door, but you're already inside.
I'm totally running exactly to nowhere. You perfectly waiting, exactly right there. The shadow is totally filling our heart. I'm perfectly ready exactly to fall. You're scraping the metal directly on glass. We totally letting the century pass. The adrenaline heavily pumping our heart. I'm beautiful, completely tearing apart.
Tear the skin, letting the monster in.
Claw, I'm perfectly dragging the absolute claw. Ain't giving a single percentage to law. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm making the mark. I'm waiting exactly for inside the dark. I'm totally leaving the beautiful scar. I'm taking exactly the boundary far, dragging the terrible
Absolute flaw. The panic is totally setting in deep. We absolutely never intending to sleep. You catching me perfectly, pulling me back. The beautiful vision is fading to black. I'm completely loving the absolute chase. You totally holding exactly the face. So give me the absolutely terrible end. We perfectly breaking exactly the bend. Tear the skin, letting the monster in.
claw. I'm perfectly dragging the absolute claw. Ain't giving a single percentage to law. I'm speaking with gravel, I'm making the mark. I'm waiting exactly for inside the dark. I'm totally leaving the beautiful scar. I'm taking exactly the boundary far, dragging the terrible.
That's absolute flaw.
Deep in the flesh.
Deep in the flesh.
Don't let me go.
Look at us.
Look how we became.
The shower is absolutely running in red. We totally breaking exactly the bed. You perfectly washing exactly the hand. I don't even absolutely try understand. The mirror is completely exactly in crack. There ain't absolutely a turning it back. We perfectly standing incredibly still. I'm completely, utterly loving the thrill. Washing it off,
Washing it off.
hearing the beautiful cough.
Dirt. I'm beautifully wearing the absolute dirt. Ain't giving a single apology hurt. I'm sticking with gravel, I'm taking the blame. I'm perfectly, absolutely playing the game. I'm totally, entirely filthy and raw. I'm breaking exactly the absolute law. Wearing the perfectly absolute dirt.
The water is completely, beautifully cold. I'm totally doing exactly the toad. You're looking exactly directly inside. We perfectly, absolutely heaven to hide. A completely messy, entirely flawed. I'm absolutely, entirely asking for more. So leave it exactly, complete, leave a skein. We beautifully washing it out in the rain. Washing it off,
washing it off.
here in the beautiful car.
Dirt, I'm beautifully wearing the absolute dirt. Ain't giving a single apology hurt. I'm speaking with dabble, I'm taking the blame. I'm perfectly, absolutely playing the game. I'm totally, entirely filthy and wrong, breaking exactly the absolute law. Wearing the perfectly absolute dirt.
Never getting clean, covered in it.